Are you concerned about the current political landscape and what to do with your money? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. We're going to talk about the very contentious political landscape that we have right now. We have a huge Senate race as I'm recording this in January. We don't know who's going to control the Senate. Is it going to be Republicans? Is it going to be the Democrats? And of course, we have a new president coming into power in January. So the big question is, how do you invest your portfolio accordingly? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down from my perspective. I've been managing money now for over 20 years. I'm Ryan Payne. I have a firm here in New York City called Payne Capital Management. And what I want to do is give you my mindset about politics in general. So when you have a political landscape that's contentious like it is right now, and how to think about politics always, because they're always uncertain, and how that fits into your investment portfolio, your strategy, how to think about it long term, basically give you the best odds to create wealth over time and do it in a way where you can see politics for what they are and how you can use it to profit as opposed to using it as fear and not a way to make money. So let's get into it. If you like my content, you love my content, you feel my content, please slam on that like button. And with no further ado, let's talk about the current political landscape and your portfolio. This is a topic that's a big pet peeve for me because everyone wants to talk about what the market's going to do based on what's happening in the political landscape. And it's worse because I don't care what news you watch, for some way it kind of pervades your brain and you get into this belief that whatever that news station, whatever which one it is, I'll leave that to you, is somehow it pervades your ability to think about these things rationally. So this drives me crazy because it ends up costing you money because you end up making bad investment decisions. So let me explain and let's talk about one of these concepts I think is really important when you're investing your money, like probably one of the most important things you can learn and something that took me a long time to learn, but this is the kind of thing that's going to give you that kind of clarity, that's going to give you that boss type mentality to understand really how to invest your money. So we're going to talk about a concept I call known unknowns versus unknown unknowns. I know it's a mouthful, but bear with me here and let's break this down. So a known unknown is basically something that we're anticipating could happen, okay? And it's something that could possibly happen and we fear it ahead of time. And I'll give you the perfect example of this. This year, we thought that, man, we could have a really contentious election. We're not even sure who's going to win this year. It's going to be such a close race. And whoever wins the election, we're not even going to know the next day because it's so contentious that there's going to be lawsuits and it was going to be so much uncertainty around it that it's going to push the markets lower. Well, here's the crazy thing. All these things came to pass, right? We actually had a contentious election. We didn't know who the president was when we woke up the next day, and all these lawsuits happened. Now, the only thing that didn't happen is the fact that the market didn't sell off. In fact, it did the exact opposite of what the conventional wisdom believed. The market actually ramped up and went way higher. So you're probably thinking to yourself, now, how does that work? Right? We had all this bad news, we had something we were worried about, and the market completely shrugged it off. And the reason is because it's a known unknown. We knew this could possibly happen. And think about the millions of collective market participants were already thinking about it. It was already what we would say priced in. You know, I like to say if it's in the press, it's in the price. So basically anything you're worrying about right now and you think could happen, well, guess what? It's not a surprise. It doesn't drive the market because it's already known. Let's talk about unknown unknowns instead. Now, the perfect example of this year is like the best example of this, is the fact that we had this pandemic. And we couldn't have known this ahead of time. It was completely unknown. It wasn't something we could foresee. We were worried about it. It wasn't in the press. It's hard to believe, but nobody in January, no strategist on Wall Street was saying, you know what, I think this year we're going to have a global pandemic by the middle of February, and then all of a sudden we're going to see the total global economy shut down and markets are going to sell off the fastest they ever have in the history of markets recorded data of all time. So point is, you couldn't have anticipated that ahead of time, and that's what moves markets. It's the things we don't know and we can't account for. So to somehow position your investment strategy so that you can anticipate something's going to happen, well, it just doesn't work, because if you know it, I know it, it's on every news channel, we're all thinking about it, and something that's not a surprise doesn't actually move the market. So let's come full circle. And now let's get back to politics and what's going on right now. We already know we have a contentious Senate race come January. We already know we don't know who's going to actually have control of the Senate. We already know we have a new president, and that new president, we're not 100% sure what his policies are going to look like. We can conjecture about it, and we can think about it and wonder about it and have ideas about it, but it doesn't do a damn thing for your investment strategy. So the point is, as an investor, you've got to ignore the political noise. It's not helpful because you know it, I know it, everybody knows it, but what you can do is you can map out your long-term financial goals. And this is stuff we're going to talk about on my YouTube channel. We're going to get into that. And you can build your investment portfolio around your goals. When I call that a goal-based strategy versus an event-based strategy that's anticipating an event that we can't anticipate anyway. So it's a really key thing. And I think if you start to really embrace this concept, you're going to see that you're going to have a better, easier time understanding how to invest. And you're not going to be surprised when that big thing everyone's warning you about happens and the market doesn't react the way that everybody says it is. Because you'll realize that all that known information doesn't going to do you a hill of beans when it comes to making money. So I hope you found this helpful, and I hope this is giving you a better mindset when it comes to how to really invest your money. These are things I think about all the time, and they've worked really, really well over the 2 decades that I've helped people grow their wealth, so hopefully it can help you grow your wealth. And if you like my content, maybe you love my content, please slam on that like button, trying to get the good word out, build my channel. I'd appreciate that a lot. And as always, stay loose and keep an open mind.